Welcome everyone, Crazy here. Today we have a very exciting news video because Jason is now more likely than ever to be added into Dead by Daylight in the near future. This is because IGN recently got the exclusive news that there is a Friday the 13th expansion plan by the name of Jason Universe that's going to be put in place this year. This expansion plan plans to announce a number of different entertainment, games, immersive experiences they call it, and merchandise. Going off of previous statements from Brian Fuller, who was previously associated with the Crystal Lake series until they were removed from that series, they did say that apparently the movie distribution rights are tied to New Line Cinema and it's a little messy, so because of this, when they say entertainment, that probably just means TV shows and not movies, so do keep that in mind. Despite New Line Cinema having the exclusive movie distribution rights to the Friday the 13th franchise, it does still seem that this Jason Universe media plan can still use anything from the Friday the 13th franchise as long as it's not in a movie. The reason for this is because Jason Universe is actually a collaborative effort between Victor Miller and Horror Inc. Recently, the rights were split off between those two members, so with them joining forces with Jason Universe, in theory they should have access to everything from the franchise. So you might be wondering, what does this have to do with Dead by Daylight? And the answer's a little complicated, but I am going to get into that. So on the official Jason Universe Twitter account, which we know for sure is the official account because it's confirmed in that article I just referenced, they are only following 6 people. And when you see who they're actually following, it becomes very apparent that these follows really do mean something, because they're already working with A24 on the Peacock series, so that makes a lot of sense. Discussing Film and IGN also makes sense because those are news sites, and IGN broke this news. For Blumhouse, that one's a little complicated. Some might think that might mean a movie, but like I just explained, we are most likely not getting a movie because of the rights. However, Blumhouse Games does have a big announcement for Summer Games Festival, which could potentially be a Friday the 13th game. And then the last two are the most obvious, and that would be Fortnite and Call of Duty getting Jason skins in their respective games. If Fortnite and Call of Duty are able to get the license to Jason, it means that Behavior could get the rights for a chapter. That might sound like a bit of a stretch, but when you really think about it, it's not, because Matthew Cote, the game director for Dead by Daylight, has said many times that they really want Jason in the game, and the only reason he is not in the game was because of the legal issues that were going on with the franchise at the time. Now with Jason Universe, it is very apparent that that is no longer an issue.
There are some in there that, like, the Jason, I mean, the game lost the license to the game, right? This one is a legal quagmire. Like, it's literally a tar pit. You don't want to put your finger in it because you're going to get sucked in. Even that would if we had a good way in, we'd probably take a shot because it's Jason, right? Jason. I mean, I really like Jason. Like, I'd do stuff to get Jason in the game.
From that clip I just showed you, it is now very apparent that now that it's legally possible for a Friday the 13th chapter to be added into Dead by Daylight, that is really just a ticking time bomb until he is eventually added. So now the only real question is, when will he be added, because at this point it's really just a ticking time bomb. If we pull up the Year 9 roadmap, in March there is a licensed chapter and it's going to be a solo killer. A lot of people might think that this could be Jason, and I definitely think that could be a big possibility. However, I think it would not be very likely that they would do a Friday the 13th chapter without Tommy Jarvis as a new survivor, and without Camp Crystal Lake as a new map. It would make sense if they didn't have the rights to that character and that map. However, because they are in fact working with Horror Inc. and Victor Miller for Jason's universe, it does seem that they would have the rights to that. Behavior usually goes all out on these chapters, so I don't think it would make a lot of sense to skimp out on one of the biggest potential chapters in the entire game. I certainly won't be ruling him out completely for the March chapter release. However, I do think it would be more likely for him to be added later on, as a full complete chapter. Another thing that I thought was worth mentioning is if we do get a Jason that has no map and no survivor and no ties to any of the movies at all, that means we wouldn't have a lot of opportunity for skins, which would be very disappointing. I mean, obviously if you've seen the Friday the 13th movies, there's a ton of different Jasons to choose from that could all be their own unique skins. Because of this, I really do hope they go all out for this chapter and are able to do that, but we'll have to wait and see. I for one am very excited about this news, even if it is a while until we get this, because I would love to see Jason in this game, and I hope you all are very excited too. If you like this video, a like and a subscribe would be super helpful, and as always, have a wonderful day and stay safe in the fog, everybody.